At WrestleMania 39, the Usos defended the undisputed tag team championships against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And let me tell you, of all the matches that occurred over the weekend of WrestleMania 39, this match felt the biggest and it felt the most important because the story between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and the Usos had been going on for so long that this being the culmination of everything was so huge. Before the match started, they did their entrances, and before the Usos came out, Lil Uzi Vert performed his famous song, I Just Want to Rock. And normally, I don't really like musical performances at wrestling shows, and especially this late in the show when it's late at night and everybody's exhausted and tired. But this was a perfect performance because, first of all, the song is good. And second of all, it was only about a minute long. And that was it. So if you were going to do a musical performance, that was the one to do. And then the Usos come out, and then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn come out. And when they're making their entrances, all four guys, it just feels like such a big deal that we're going to see this match. Definitely worthy of a main event at WrestleMania. The match starts out with Jimmy Uso and Sami Zayn in the ring. And then the crowd is chanting Ole, Ole, which is a reference to Sami Zayn's time as El Generico. And he used to perform quite often in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, which is headquartered in California. And so he used to come out to California quite often for many years to perform there. He was a former Pro Wrestling Guerrilla champion. And, you know, that's how the match started. And Jimmy and Sami were just staring each other down. And then Jimmy tells Jay to get in the ring. And so he tags him in. I thought that was an interesting touch because really, of all the people in the match, everybody wants to see Jey Uso versus Sami because those are the two who've been butting heads for nearly a year now. During the first part of this match, the Usos keep Sami Zayn away from his corner because they don't want him to tag in Kevin Owens. But eventually, Sami Zayn fights off both of them and somehow makes it to Kevin, who gets the hot tag. Kevin sprints down the ring apron, gets on the top turnbuckle, and he does like a cannonball into Jimmy and Jay on the outside. Then he does a frog splash to Jimmy onto the mats outside, and then he does another frog splash onto Jey Uso inside the ring, and he gets a 2 count. As this match goes on, the story is really that this is going to be a tough battle for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The Usos have been tag team champions since 2021. Sami and Kevin, although they are main event guys, they haven't been tagging as long as the Usos have. Well, I mean, technically. I mean, they were tagging before they came to WWE, but, you know, they were mostly singles competitors while they were in the WWE. Kevin Owens is throwing everything he has at the Usos. He's doing swanton bombs, he's doing cannonballs, he's doing all this high-risk stuff. Sami Zayn does a brainbuster to Jey Uso on the ring apron, which looks so vicious and so cool. And it gets a huge reaction from the crowd. Kevin Owens follows that up with a swanton onto Jimmy, only gets a 2 count. There was a sequence where once again the Usos isolated Sami Zayn and were super kicking him and super kicking him and super kicking him, but Sami kept kicking out like he was running on instinct. Then they go for the 1D, but they don't get it because Kevin Owens pulls Jimmy Uso out of the ring. Sami Zayn reverses, goes for the pin, and he gets a 2 count, but then the Usos powerbomb Kevin Owens through the announce table on the outside. So now Sami really is alone. Then, right after they powerbomb Kevin Owens through the table, Jimmy and Jay go in the ring, give Sami Zayn, who looks like he's completely out of it, but they give him the 1D, and for a second it looks like that's the end of the match, and it looks like the Usos just displayed their dominance. 1, 2, Sami Zayn kicks out of the 1D. And the commentators are saying this is the first time that anyone's kicked out of the 1D. Sami Zayn is like on the bottom rope, leaning on it, like shaking his head like there's no way I'm letting this match end without me walking away with the tag titles. And Jimmy Uso looks shocked that he kicked out of the 1D. Great stuff. After that, Jey Uso hits a haluva kick on Sami. And as he's taunting Sami after he does it, Sami catches him with an exploder suplex into the corner, and that reverses the momentum of the match. and Sami is crawling to his corner, and Kevin is just getting up on the apron after he got powerbombed through the table, remember? Now he's there, and he gets the hot tag. One of the little things you'll notice about this match is that Kevin Owens is cheering on Sami Zayn throughout the match. It's a nice little touch, like, come on, Sami, go, Sami. He wants to win the titles with his friend Sami, and they are in this together. It's a really tough fight. It's a huge mountain to climb to beat the Usos, who have held these titles for years. It's great stuff. And there's a near fall where Sami hits the haluva kick on Jimmy, Kevin hits the stunner on Jay, Kevin goes for the pin, kick out. Now, going into WrestleMania, everyone expected Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to win this match, mainly because the Usos had been tag team champions for so long. Kevin and Sami are huge main event stars. But if you're watching this match, the story is that the Usos are not easy to beat. I mean, these are really, really tough guys who are kicking out of big stuff, kicking out of finishers, and they're not going away. And in the mind of maybe the casual fan, they might be like, well, maybe the Usos might actually win this match. And again, after that near fall, Kevin picks up Sami and he says, we're almost there, we're almost there. It's these little touches that makes this match so special. You see the friendship between Kevin and Sami. You see the toughness of the Usos who won't give up. It's great. The ending of this match is a work of art. Sami gets the hot tag. He gets in the ring. Jey Uso is in the corner. He's in position to get the haluva kick. The camera zooms in on Sami's face. And Michael Cole says, long time coming. And Sami waits. The crowd is getting crazy. And he hits the haluva kick, grabs Jey, throws him in the corner again. Second haluva kick, grabs him again, puts him in the corner. Kevin Owens catches Jimmy, who's trying to interfere. Kevin gives him the stunner. Third haluva kick from Sami to Jey. Match over. This is one of the most well-paced tag team matches you'll ever see. It was definitely a main event tag team match, and I would give it a 5 out of 5. The participants were all great. The story behind it, as good as you can get. And the match itself was perfectly plotted. Each section of the match was good. And the execution, these guys are pros. They did such a great job. They had the crowd in the palm of their hand. The story of Kevin and Sami fighting an uphill battle and the Usos being so dominant was perfect. And Sami and Kevin pull out the win at the end. That's how it should have been done. Then they have the big celebration afterwards, which is really emotional because finally Sami, after being abused by the bloodline for a year, he finally gets one over on them and wins the tag titles. Definitely must-watch match.